Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys some beginner money making methods that you can use right as soon as you make a new account, just so you can start making some money. I'm also going to show you some additional methods that you will require a few requirements, however they are pretty easy to get. Now also, I will break this video down into free to play and pay to play or member methods. So do look in the description for the timestamps of both of those sections, as well as the methods that I will be covering, so you'll be able to jump in between each section and each method. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. Hey guys, so this first method I'm going to show you guys is casting bones to bananas. It's a really easy method and can be done in free to play. All you need is level 15 magic. So for the method, you're going to want to make sure that you have some nature runes, some earth runes, and then the rest of your inventory filled with big bones. You'll also want the staff of water. You can use the mud battle staff if you are a member, and this will save you from having to bring the earth runes, thus also increasing the profit per hour. But for it, you're going to want to make sure that you do set a preset, preferably on preset number 1. That's because you can just hit number 1 on your keyboard and you'll automatically load the preset. So make sure you do overwrite that and just save that preset so you can load it pretty fast. Now, the other thing that I recommend is you're going to want to be right next to a banker, and you can actually move your magic interface, so you can put the casting bones to banana spell right next to the banker, so you don't really have to move your mouse, just very slightly. So for example, I'll click on the banker, click my preset 1, then cast bones to bananas. It does the entire inventory, making it really fast. So you can click the banker again, just rapidly do this over and over, and you are going to be making some pretty good GP per hour while also gaining some magic XP. The GP per hour is right around 3 mil, however it can increase depending on how fast you are doing this method. But overall, I think it is a pretty good way of doing it, and it's a nice free-to-play money-making method just so you can make some money in the early levels of the game. So this method can be done as soon as you start a brand new account. It's going to be killing chickens, and you'll make around 1 mil per hour doing it. It is a really easy method, and I do recommend you guys do it at the start, since you will obviously be able to do it as soon as you start, and you'll also gain some magic levels as well. Now, there is one really important thing that you do need for this method. You're going to want to go into your settings, into gameplay. Then if you go into item drops, you'll see the area loot. So you will want to make sure that this is on, so make sure it has a check mark there. That way when you do try and pick up an item, you'll actually get this area loot interface. You'll be able to pick up all the items around it. So it just makes the looting a lot faster. And this is what you're going to be selling. So all of these items that you are going to be collecting, they aren't worth too much, but you will make about 1 mil per hour selling them all, because you can kill a lot of these chickens per hour. The XP per hour is also not really great, but it is good for a brand new account. So you should get, to around level 20 or 30 magic in 1 hour of killing these chickens. Also, I do highly recommend you guys using a Staff of Air. They can be bought just for a few thousand coins on the Grand Exchange. And magic seems to be the best way of doing it, since you will unlock the Dragon Breath ability at level 5 magic, and it will hit multiple chickens at once, so you will be able to kill a little bit more per hour using magic as opposed to melee or ranged. And then also, when you do have a full inventory, you can just go over here to the bank to deposit it all, and then later you can head up to the Grand Exchange to sell all of your loot. So this next method is going to be smelting Rune Bars. This is also a free-to-play method, however it can be enhanced if you are a member. But on free-to-play you'll make right around 2 mil profit per hour, whereas member it'll be a bit more AFK, and you should make around 3 mil per hour. So for example, the member items that I do have, they are the smelting gauntlets, as well as the modified blacksmith's helmet. So if you do have these and you are a member, you can use them. Otherwise, don't worry about any of the equipment. All you're going to need is the runite ore and the luminite. So you will want to deposit it into your metal bank at the furnace. Now, when you do smelt these rune bars, you will get an extra 10% chance to smelt an additional one, and that is at level 57 smithing. So that is why that is a requirement. You'll get a 10% chance to make an extra rune bar, which is going to really increase your profit. As you can see, since I do have these smelting gauntlets, I will be able to make 60 of them at a time, and they will go straight to the bank. However, if I was to remove the smelting gauntlets, so if I was just on a free-to-play account, you can see that you can only do 27 and they go straight to your inventory. So it is a little bit less AFK if you are a free-to-play player, but it still is a pretty profitable method. Also, if you are a member, you'll be able to make 3 mil per hour because you will actually be able to increase the amount of rune bars you make by using the superheat form curse. This will basically make it so you can smelt these a lot faster, meaning you'll be able to make 3,000 of them instead of 2,000 of them per hour. So if you do have that on a member world, make sure you are using it. But otherwise, for a free-to-play player, it is pretty basic. You're just going to need the ores, and then you're just going to need to smelt the bars. When you have the full inventory, just deposit them all into the metal bank, and then you can just start smelting some more. So again, it is an AFK method, but just not as AFK on a free-to-play world. So now looking at our first members money-making method, it's going to be an easy daily moneymaker, which is getting Vis Wax. So the only thing you'll need for this method is 50 rune crafting. So this is located at the top of the Wizard's Tower. You can get here by teleporting using the Wicked's Hood, or you can just climb up to the top of it by teleporting to Drainer, for example. Now once you do enter the rune crafting guild, you will want to go to the Rune Goldberg machine. This is how you will make the Vis Wax. So you will get a different combination each day. So as you can see on screen, the slot number 1 combination is Cosmic Runes, whereas slot number 2 has 3 different possibilities in Air, Body, and Chaos. So basically you will want to just try different ones for this slot. First, I'll try Air. If you do have a rune crafting cape as well, you can activate it to see the best in slot rune for the 3rd slot. Otherwise, it is just random and you won't have any idea of what it is. So as you can see, I put the mud. We got a happy face, meaning that it does work. The air rune didn't work. The body rune didn't work. So the chaos rune must be slot 2. And as you can see, I got perfect on all 3 slots. So we get 100 Vis Wax. So you can do this each day, and in order to actually see the combinations, you can just join my Discord. The link to that is in the description, and I have a Vis Wax channel where the Vis Wax combinations are posted each and every day. So you guys can check that out. This is an easy way to make around maybe 700k to 1 mil every day, and all you need is 50 rune crafting. So this next method, it is going to be another pay-to-play method. It's going to be making sacred oil. It's actually a really great money-making method. The only requirement being Shades of Morton. Also, if you do have a sort of mid or high combat level, that will help. It will increase the GP per hour. And if you do have a Barros Brothers kill, you will teleport there pretty quickly just by using the PVM Hub teleport. So Sacred Oil, it is done in the Shades of Morton. You would have to do this for the quest, so you should know how to do it already, but I will go over that. The first thing that you should do when you get here, though, is just definitely hop worlds, because as you can see, not many people actually do this minigame, but if you do go to World 88, it is the Shades of Morton world, so you should be able to find some people doing it there. If not, it can't really be done solo, so you will have to wait for someone. But as you can see, it basically always is being done. So this minigame is pretty easy. You're going to want to go over to the general shop first. You'll want to trade in the builder's store. So for this, you're basically going to want to repair the temple with some materials before you can actually transmute your olive oil into sacred oil. So to do this, you're going to want to buy some swamp paste. I believe mine's already pretty high, but normally you'll buy about 50 swamp paste, and then you'll want to buy 1 timber beam for each 5 swamp paste. And since I have 10, I'll buy 2 of those. And then you'll also want to buy 2 limestone bricks. So if I do this, I'll also want to just trade in the general store, buy the olive oil dose 3s. Then we can head up to the temple to start gaining the sanctity, which you then use to turn the olive oil into sacred oil. So first off, just reinforce the temple. As you can see, the resource part, you will be using these resources in your inventory and the resources will increase. You will need to have at least some level of resource so you can actually do this. So make sure that you do buy some of those resources at the start of the minigame. Another way to get some pretty quick sanctity is by killing the shades. So if you do have a high level combat level or even a mid-level combat level, since they are only level 58, you will be able to get a little bit more sanctity per hour. Also, if there are other people killing them, that sometimes does happen. Otherwise, you'll just have to repair the temple. So if you do repair the temple, you will gain a little bit of crafting XP. And it is really AFK. You can just sit there, repair the temple, and you'll be slowly gaining the sanctity. Once you reach about 100 sanctity, you'll want to then sanctify by clicking on the flame on the flaming altar, and you'll turn this olive oil into sacred oil. So as you can see, the olive oil, those 3s, they're priced at about 600 GP. If you do turn it into the sacred oil, you'll see that the price just skyrockets. It's 13.8k. So you can make 6 mil per hour doing this method. And again, as I mentioned, the only requirement is the Shades of Morton quest. So there really aren't too many requirements. If you start a brand new account, you could probably start doing this method within maybe 5 or 10 hours, because there are a few quests that you will need to complete before you can actually start the Shades of Morton quest. But anyway, this is probably the best sort of mid-level or beginner money-making method for members, and I highly recommend you guys do it since it isn't really done by many people, and the GP per hour is kind of insane. Now this next money-making method that I want to show you guys is killing the Shadow Reef mobs. So for this method, you will want a decent combat level. I recommend around level 70 or 75 combat. You can use melee or ranged or magic. However, melee or magic is probably preferred since you will be able to use AoE abilities a lot better with those combat styles. Also, 43 prayer is highly recommended so that you will have the protection prayers for all 3 combat styles. And as you can see my setup here, I am using a Noxious Scythe, which is a tier 90 weapon, but I'm also using Bandos, which is tier 70, and just an Amulet of Glory, just so I have some pretty basic equipment. So you will want to go to the Shadow Reef and enter it. Just enter the normal mode, and for this you'll basically just want to be clearing out the dungeon. So we are going to be going in. A nice aura to use is the Vampirism aura. It will just give you some passive health as you're going through the dungeon. Make sure you activate your protection prayer when you enter. If you do have an overload, you can use that. It will definitely help and speed up your kill times. But this method, it does require a little bit more requirements than the previous methods that I have shown you guys. But I do want to show this method just because it not only will allow you to make a pretty decent amount of GP per hour. You can make around 5 mil per hour if you're really efficient with it. If you're sort of a mid-level player, you're probably expecting just around 2 or 3 mil. You can see that they do hit quite hard every once in a while. You will want to use Devotion just to protect yourself from that. And then the Vampirism aura will hopefully heal you. Also make sure you do have a full inventory of food and a beast of burden of food, because you will probably be going through it throughout the dungeon. So you're going to just want to kill these trash mobs until you get to the first boss. Then you want to teleport out and come back in. As you can see, we're getting just money for each of these kills. Also some relics and stuff, and the chest will pick it up automatically for you. So you'll be making a decent amount of money, but the best thing about it is you're going to be getting tons of XP per hour. If you're really efficient with it, you can make up to 1 mil XP per hour. But a mid-level player is probably expecting a bit less, maybe 600k, which still is fantastic. And that's why you want to do this method, is because it's going to allow you to level up your account, which then you'll be able to unlock better methods. So you're not only making a little bit of money, but you're mostly progressing your account. So definitely check this method out, especially if you are more of a mid-level player, have some mid-level combat stats, because if you have that, you'll be able to do this method without much problem. Another thing I'd like to mention is this method doesn't have to be done solo. You can have 3 people come in, however the XP per hour will be a bit lower, but you can do that. It would be recommended if you're more of a lower level, maybe below level 70 combat stats. Then definitely make sure to try and get a friend to come do it with you, because the trash mobs, they will be quite hard if you don't have a decent combat level. And so anyway guys, those are all the money making methods that I want to show you guys in this video, and hopefully you'll be able to use these as you are progressing the game. The free to play money making methods, they're great methods to do when you first start, just so you have some starting cash to start progressing your account. Whereas the pay to play methods, of course, you do require membership, but they are also some really great methods. Sacred Oil makes you a ton of money. You also get a little bit of combat XP if you are killing the shades, as well as a little bit of crafting XP. And then there is also the Shadow Reef mobs, which is an excellent money making method for you if you're looking to progress your account, especially if you already have some mid-level combat stats. And then just make sure to always do that Vis Wax every day, so you are gaining that 700k to 1 mil per day, which you can accumulate, and then use that towards progressing your account, or maybe even purchasing bonds to maintain your membership. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy the video. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the videos, and if you guys are somewhat of a more experienced player, maybe comment in the description some other methods that newer players could do to not only progress their account, but also make some quick money. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.